I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Xana.
Xana.
I never heard that before, so what's going on, y'all? Back here at 100 Ways to Live podcast. I have a power lifter on the couch to my left. I have a power lifter on my couch. You're the first person that I've ever had the opportunity to talk to, so there's some things that I would like to know about powerlifting. But my guest here, her name is Xana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So I would just like to know, how did you get into powerlifting? Like, what does a young woman, what is she going through that leads her to powerlifting?
So my brother actually did powerlifting when he was in high school,
Okay.
and he's about 7 years older than me, so I remember going to his meets when I was a little girl and thinking it was really cool. I didn't really have much of an interest in weightlifting at the time, but I was in high school and I did dance. So middle school, high school, I was captain of my dance team. Helped a lot with my flexibility. I did like high kick movements and team practices every single day, even on weekends sometimes. We had camps and all that. But I got into powerlifting because I had a coach of mine who I met from City Sports of Vallejo, and he told me that I should get into something outside of just coming into the gym and working out just to look good and feel good. So we ended up going to an event for one of his clients, and I wanted to see if I would be interested in it. And then we got onto the topic of powerlifting. I was like, no way, that sounds amazing, because I was really heavy into my bench press. I was like obsessed with hitting back, obsessed with hitting bench. So I was like, there's got to be something out there that I can kind of get into that would help me out with that. And we came across the idea of powerlifting, and then since then, it's been like just over a year now of training specifically for that. But it is my absolute favorite, actually getting into the gym, having like a set goal and making sure that I can hit these certain numbers by this time. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
So the powerlifting came after the personal training? Because you're a personal trainer, so
yeah, about a year and a half after I started personal training, just kind of meeting the people that you do when you go to certain gyms and talking with people, making those connections and whatnot, and then the idea of powerlifting flowed in. I didn't know if I wanted to do bodybuilding or powerlifting, but I was like, I'd rather work for something for strength rather than physique.
Physique, okay.
Whole different aspect, but.
Do you remember what your first meet was like? What was the first powerlifting meet like?
Oh my gosh, it was insane. So first time ever having to do a weight cut. So for me that was that was insane, because I had to track my macros. I had to weigh out my food. So it was a whole different thing for me, because it was a whole new aspect that I had to get used to. So being very consistent with my diet and everything was it was a little difficult at first, but I kind of got used to it at that point. But my first competition, I think it was last February, and I didn't know what to expect. I watched a lot of powerlifting meet videos. I was like, I don't know, what the vibes are going to be like the day of, but I ended up making a whole bunch of friends that day.
That's cool.
It was really chill. It actually moved by pretty fast, because you do squat, bench, deadlift, and you have 10-minute intermission in between each. So I hit all my lifts, and then I ended up making first for my weight class. So, at that moment when I got that medal, I was like, I really did that. Like,
first meet, first place? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how, if you had to gauge it, how intimidated were you going into the meet? Before you started making friends, before the first lift, like how intimidated were you?
Honestly, I was really chill about it, because I knew that I had met someone at the gym, because I like to go to different gyms, and I was in American Canyon doing my lift, and I run across this lady in the sauna, and she's talking to another lady in there about how she has an upcoming bodybuilding competition. And we start talking, and she's telling me that she's an IFBB pro, and I'm asking her for tips. I know that bodybuilding is way different, but what did you expect your first time for doing your competition? She was like, you put in all the work for 6 months or a year before your actual meet or competition. So the most fun that you can have is just getting in there the day of and just showing everyone what you've worked towards and what you have. So that really helped me. That was only a couple days before my competition when I had met her and spoke to her about, feeling not nervous about anything, but it really did help having that conversation with her, but also just knowing that I've been preparing and training for this for so long that now it's really just the fun part, getting under that bar and, lifting and just telling people and showing them what you can do.
I think it's crazy how, we'll be going through something that's stressful or challenging, and then we'll meet a stranger along the way that can just come and just help set you on a course to just go destroy something. It's just crazy how that played out. And this lady that you met in the sauna, you haven't had any contact with her since. Were you able to tell her that you won?
So I ended up following her on social media. She has probably around 50,000 followers now,
wow.
and she, has a sponsor with this brand. I remember I was working at City Sports one day, and she came up to me and she had this brownie. It was a protein brownie. She comes up to me, she's like, "I've been saving this for you. I wanted to give it to you. Let me know how you like it." So we end up catching up and whatnot, and she's telling me that, she has an upcoming photo shoot, like out of state coming up, and we've been talking a little bit since, she'll comment on my posts and I'll do the same likewise.
That's cool.
But
I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it's all about the community that you build. It really is.
And that's something that I can say about, like, since I started working out, and not only just working out, but being approachable. I'll say that. Since I've become more approachable, I've met my best friends have all been somebody I met through the gym.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I just think we have like-minded, we have like goals that are similar. So it's easy to align yourself with people like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but I want to know what is your family like with the powerlifting, because there's this stigma that a lot of women face or deal with. I don't want to look manly. So was that ever a thought for you ever? Like, I don't want to look manly by powerlifting, because it just sounds, like something
Honestly,
that would.
it never crossed my mind.
No?
My thought process is I have such strong muscles and I work so hard that I'm just gonna show off, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna be confident in myself, because at the end of the day, like, I'm walking in there, I'm putting in the work, and that's not something that everyone can say that they're doing for themselves. So feeling not confident, like, it's just something that, I can't do that, because it's been so long of me doing it, about 3 years of lifting now, and I know there are some people that I might look a little bit more toned or bulked up than, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, I have to be proud of how I look and how I feel.
So would that be your message to other young women that are thinking about powerlifting? Like, what would the message be for them? What would you say to them?
To always be confident and know that at the end of the day, like, it's really just your strength and your determination and the mindset that can help you out and get you to where you want to be. Because for me, it's just about feeling good and doing good every single day, and every day you get 1% better too.
Sana, thank you for your time.
Thank
I appreciate
you for
your
having
story.
me. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, I like that.